So, I love Fursonas. I love the way they look, I love the personalities behind them, I love the smell, and I love the lore of the world around them if somebody's created that. So, I thought I would do what I love doing best, and it's talking all about Fursonas. But before we begin, I just want to do a short description of what a Fursona actually is. Because a Fursona is a personalised character that is often revolving around an animal. But not always. But we're getting ahead of ourselves. Fursonas are essentially avatars to allow the creator to do like role playing, be social, create memes, and even just escape reality for a little bit. This can be in like the physical world, that's usually with like fursuits, or this could be on like the digital world, like using stuff like VR chat avatars, or even just like art pieces. But how do people create these Fursonas? Well, so to put into perspective on how much work goes into a Fursona, we did a YouTube poll and asked you guys how long did it take you to create your Fursona? And a hefty majority of you suggested that your Fursona creation is like an ongoing thing, and chances are it might take forever. But outside of this, majority of people generally suggested that it would take them like either a year, even down to a few hours. So what this says to me is that there's not really a set time for creating your Fursona. And if you are somebody that is creating their Fursona and perhaps it's taken a little bit longer than you would have wanted to, then that's okay, because end of the day, it doesn't matter how long you take or as little you take, this should be fun. This should be you creating your character. So there's no time limit, there's no rush, there's no nothing. Just go at your own pace and enjoy yourself. And for me, I feel like there's tons and tons of opportunity to have fun with this, because there are so many different areas you can take inspiration from. Starting with taking inspiration from already existing characters. So this is not me saying go and steal somebody else's character, because end of the day, that is their personality, that is their art, and therefore that is stealing. But what I'm saying is that you can get your full effect and have your personality in if you perhaps like take inspiration from like a video game like One Shot. You could use like the clothes and the art style to develop your character, or you can take lots of little inspirations from multiple different areas and make like a Frankenstein Fursona. This is particularly what I did with Wiffles, because I took the backwards cap inspiration from one of my friends at Roll Plus Hearts podcast, Starling Dust. And I took the inspiration of being a grey wolf from, you might have guessed it, Beastars. And with the bandana, I took inspiration from my friend, Sapphirus, who had like a wee bandana and I was like playing around with it a lot, so I just loved it and I wanted it. As for like the shirt, and I've got like shorts on, those are literally just because that's what I was wearing when I was creating Wiffles. And yes, I know that is 4. I can't read or count apparently. But like I said, what I'm saying is that you can take so much inspiration from so many different areas. But already existing characters isn't the only area that people can take inspiration from, because people have created their character based around like some themes. For example, food and drink, magic, space, stars, spirituality, toasters, innuendos, and so much more. I could go in so much detail with this one, but end of the day, this video is already long enough. So when it comes to like Fursona species, according to Fur Science in 2020, the 5 most common Fursona species are number 5, house cat, number 2, dog, number 3, foxes, number 2, dragons, and number 1, wolves. Whereas like the least common Fursonas are dragons, ravens, and squirrels, with I think it was like 0.4, and that blew my mind because it is 0.2% below cows. And I have seen so many dinosaurs, squirrels, and ravens, but I've never seen a cow Fursona. So if anybody out there knows any Cowsonas or has a Cowsona, please send them my way. I would love to see them. But one thing that really kind of like out of both these lists that really got me was the fact that foxes are no longer the second most popular Fursona, apparently according to this survey. And that kind of boggled my mind, because I knew wolves were top because, hey, I think wolves have been popular for a long time. But it is slowly getting smaller, and I think that's really cool. Keeping on topic, outside of regular animals, the furry community have also invented entirely unique furry species that often have like their own lore and characteristics and society and stuff like that. These are called open species, and like I said, anybody is able to use them. And much as I really wish I had some images to show you guys, I couldn't get the permission in time. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to list off a whole load of them, and you guys can search them up, because end of the day, you guys will love what you see. So to start off, we have raptor dogs. We've got Bun and Nut. I know I've messed that one up. We have protogens, we have Sergals, we got Dutch angel dragons, we got Avalis, we got Macari, we have Leothan, Mankit, Pankin, Sodaru, and I will stop there before I brutalize any more pronunciations. There are new species invented all the time. And if you want to check out some of them, check out Fur Affinity, because it's like all the time they're inventing new ones, and it's really, really awesome. Weirdly enough, it took me 2 years of knowing furries to realize that there are furry species stereotypes. And I'll say this right now, majority of these are absolute bullshit. Apart from the ones that says wolves are daddies, because they're right. But what I thought I would do was list some of these stereotypes, because some of them are pretty funny and most of them are over 18. So if you don't like that stuff, then deafen yourself for 1 minute. Foxes are, how do we say it? Always shagging and are always bombs. That's a good start. We got cats are lazy, which is actually really hilarious, because majority of the cats I know are actually really hardworking and producing tons of art and music and stuff. Dragons are egocentric dominators. Good luck getting that past YouTube. Skunks are stoner emos, which I can kinda see that actually. Rats are nerds, which I can also kind of see. These stereotypes may be a bit more accurate than I first thought. And finally, horses have big dick energy. I can't put that in the video. Okay, I will leave it there. But if people are wanting to hear more random Fursona species stereotypes out there, I would love to make a whole video about it. So if that's something you want in, then put in comment waffles and I'll get onto it. Whilst a lot of Fursonas do not have any clothes at all, putting some clothes on your Fursona can actually say a lot about the personality of both the Fursona and also its creator. For example, if you had a character and put on like glasses and like a suit, you get this kind of elegant, kind of organized and very classy vibe. Other clothes that I've seen people put on their Fursonas to add personality has been stuff like apron and shirt, which gives off this like independent shop, hard worker kind of vibe, but also kind of cozy. I've also seen like ones that like open shirt, which to me gives off this like down to cuddle vibe. We've also got like one that I think is probably the most popular one, which are like hoodies, which again to me gives off this like indoor kind of like cozy vibe, like I'm staying in to watch a film kind of vibe. So getting the right clothes can really change the vibe of your Fursona. remember that you don't need to have these clothes. You could be wearing nothing at all. And that's also okay. In 2020, over 40% of Fursonas were anthro-furs. And what this means is essentially people were creating animal characters with a lot of humanoid characteristics. Like myself here. Whereas on the other end of the scale, we have less than 4% deciding they want feral Fursonas, which are closer to the actual animal they're imitating. Whereas, using my big brain math skills here, that would suggest about 56% of people kinda somewhere in the middle. And the reason why I wanted to bring this up is because, end of the day, Fursonas come in all shapes and sizes, and there really isn't all that much, like, restricting you in what you can create. So, make it yours. Make something, like, it can be something out of this world, or it could be some little thing. For example, you can have, like, a Fursona that doesn't have any hands. It could have, like, the big block hands. Or you could have something like, a furry that has your sexual orientation, like, on their skin. Either not very subtle, or something a little bit more subtle, like myself here. I'm demisexual, and as you can see, I have all the colours on the flag. I have my black, I've got grey, I've got my white there, and I've got the purple. It'd be good if I actually knew the colours I was wearing. But in the day, I've got all the colours here, and I wanted to express that through woofles. And that's kind of the point in your Fursona. You can express yourself in a way that perhaps you couldn't before. Maybe you're socially awkward, like I am. Or perhaps you're just not very good at getting your point across. Fursonas can be really good for that, because you can do a little bit of escapism. That is it, guys. Tell me what you think in the comment section. I really enjoyed making this video, and if you liked it too, please drop a like, do a comment on perhaps a topic you'd want me to cover, and share with a furry friend. That means a lot, guys. It makes such a difference to me. I really do appreciate it. And if you fancy talking to me live, I did this last video as well. Talking to me live, feel free to pop over on Twitch. I'm on those days. Whereas if you've got like a Fursona that you want to show me, as you can see, I'm obsessed with them. Feel free to pop over on Twitter and tag me. I would love to see them. And if you're going to take anything from this video, guys, I want you to remember that you mattered yesterday, you mattered today, and you mattered tomorrow. And I love every single one of you. Mwah.